In the morning wake up, Bjorn and Tabs, we've got a special guest joining us in studio. He's a good-looking man that might look a little bit better with a moustache as well. Mr. Ben Findlay from the Send, NZ. Kia ora, hello, welcome.
What an introduction.
Yeah, I know. Something about a moustache or something.
Did you have a moustache
I
at one
freshly
point?
shaved this morning just for you guys.
I don't know if that's true or not. Hey, welcome. We're pretty excited about what is happening with the Send in New Zealand, and you got some pretty special event coming up very soon, which we want to get to. But can I just say, first of all, I've met a couple of people from your team involved with the Send. All of them have this infectious energy.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. I thought you were going to say something else.
No, there is like an excitement. There's like a joy.
That's cool.
There's an anticipation for something. It's like something big's about to happen in their life. That's what it feels like.
I
talking
love
to
that.
them. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, they're probably 6-7 coffees deep as well, so that might help. But no, there's just, I mean, there really is a genuine excitement about the Send, about what God's doing in the nation.
Yeah, so tell us a bit about the Send, because it's bigger than just New Zealand, right? So it's sort of a worldwide thing. And then how did it end up in New Zealand? How did you get involved? And what's the dream for the Send?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, so the Send started in 2019 out of a place of a lot of different leaders just came together in America. And it was actually when Billy Graham passed away, they just really felt like, man, you know, that passion that Billy had for the gospel and evangelism, what if that fell on an entire generation? An entire generation captured their part to play in evangelism and mission. So they ran a gathering in Orlando in 2019. And then went to Brazil, where they sold a stadium out in about 6 hours. 80,000 Brazilians registered. So then they rented a second, that sold out in a weekend. Rented a third, that sold out in a few months. So
Wow.
the Send Brazil was 140,000 Brazilians on the same day, 3 stadiums, average age 24. And that was when I guess we took notice over here in New Zealand.
Wow.
So how did you get connected to the Send?
Yeah, so the guy who leads it globally, Andy Bird, we worked together about 10 years ago on an evangelism school in Auckland. He's an American guy, but we did an event out at C3 Ellerslie. And so we didn't really know each other that well, but to be honest, I just emailed him in April 2021 and just said, would you consider the Send coming to New Zealand? And he said, yeah, let's go for it. So that was how it all began.
Wow.
A simple
It
email.
all starts with an email, eh?
Yeah.
Send that email. You're too afraid to send. Okay, so, I mean, you're talking about changing a generation, the next generation coming through and kind of maybe picking up that baton that, you know, Billy Graham kind of started with, sharing the gospel with all people and seeing them know the true message of Jesus. Is that a pretty exciting thing to be a part of for you?
Oh, it's awesome. It's everything. I mean, we all know how much Jesus has changed our lives, and we just want that for others, right? You know, and that gospel message of God's love and his forgiveness just has so much power. And so we're stoked for, you know, so many across the nation to hear about it.
On your website, it says a generation is waiting for the gospel. What will be your response? It's time to go. The Send exists to see every believer activated into their missional calling to reach every high school, university, child, neighborhood, and nation. Now is the time.
Dun, dun, dun.
It sounds exciting. It sounds like a movie trailer.
Whoever wrote that needs a pay rise.
I bet you wrote it and you're talking to yourself.
What do you think's different about this generation right now? This new generation?
Yeah, so different. This is such a unique generation. I mean, from previous ones, obviously growing up with, you know, social media and all that stuff and not knowing anything different has a huge, significant impact. But then also, I guess what we're seeing is there actually really is a genuine openness to God. And there's a hunger for truth, and there really is such a desire to, I think, change the world as well. So when a young person gets lit up for Jesus and you know, they truly believe that God can do something impossible. So we're just seeing it's a real culmination of things in this generation. But what we're seeing is that, man, they're really poised for a move of God.
Well, if you're excited by some of the words that you're hearing, thinking, yeah, I'm fired up for that, that's what I'd love to see in New Zealand, then we need to tell you about a massive event that's happening 23rd of November. We're going to speak on this coming up next. These guys are actually going to be performing there as well, plus a whole bunch of speakers, and we're going to dive into that a little bit more with Ben from the Sends coming up next. Bjorn and Tabs with you this morning. It is the morning wake up. We've got a special guest in studio. We've got Ben Findlay from the Send NZ hanging out with us and filling us in on some details about a massive upcoming event. So 23rd of November, it's coming up quick, isn't it? Mystery
Yeah.
Creek in Hamilton. It's the event you don't want to miss for the year. You guys have done some sort of smaller send events. You've had the tour around the country, visited multiple cities, worship, speakers, equipping people, and ramping them up for the gospel. And then is this the culmination of
This
kind
is
of
the
all
culmination. This is the cherry on top. Yeah, and we're pumped for it. Yeah, so we did a week in May with Francis Chan called the Send Experience across 5 cities. And then the Send tour around 22 locations across 3 months. So seen 11,200 gather already around the Send nationwide. And then 2,267 have committed to missional action in one or more mission fields across the
Man, you've
nation
got
of the
some
nations.
very
It's
specific
wild.
numbers there.
Yeah,
You got the data.
Yeah,
I like it.
What can people expect on the day? Is it a bunch of speakers, a bunch of worship time? What's going to happen?
yeah, so good. So it's a 10-hour event. So it starts at 10 a.m., finishes at 8 p.m. And it's a continual event, so no breaks. But there are food trucks on site. People kind of, will filter in and out.
They'll keep you hydrated.
Yeah, yeah. Plenty of portaloos and all that stuff as well. Don't worry. Yeah, so it's really broken up into 4 parts of the day. So we have 4 bands coming in, and each part gets a band, and then we have a bunch of different speakers as well from overseas and also from our nation. So it's going to be really, really cool.
Talk to us about some of the speakers that you've got coming and why they're there and what you're excited to hear from those guys.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so everyone who we invited, we really felt carried this message of the Great Commission and they're living it out. So we have Francis Chan coming back, which is so good, and he is the man. And then Banning Liebscher, who is the founder of Jesus Culture, who a lot of people know the band Jesus Culture.
Yeah.
Then Andy Bird, who leads the Think globally. And then we also have a bunch of local speakers as well. Daz Chettle from Global Gospel, Adam and Grace Gannay, Freedom Center, Jody Tolley from Church Unlimited, and so many more. So, yeah, we're stoked.
What are you hoping that people leave this event with? Are you hoping them to sign up to something or to have like a new excitement for life or something specific? What are you hoping people...
Yeah, excitement for life sounds good. That'd be great. No, but I guess, yeah, the whole vision of the gathering is to help believers find their missional calling. And basically the event kind of culminates with a QR code moment. We call it Take Action, where everyone has the opportunity to scan a QR code, which sends them through a simple form of questions and links them into one or more mission fields that they're keen to start making disciples in. So they could be children, high schools, universities, neighborhoods, all the nations. And then their details go into our system, to their pastor, and then to a partnering ministry as well. So it's a massive back end. But so pretty much 50% of our effort will be post the event, which is crazy.
Then what do you do from there? So, I mean, I think great timing too. End of the year, a lot of people, maybe it's been a tough year. Maybe you're tired. Maybe you got questions about, as you come into the end of things, you're like, what am I doing? Or like, do I want to be doing this next year? Or where's my life heading? You start to have these questions sort of end of November, coming into December, over the January holidays. A lot of people look at their life, in that kind of way. So almost a little bit, I don't want to say dangerous to go along, but your life could change,
Do you
right?
have the courage to show up?
Yeah, to be willing to let God speak, and call you into something. Do you get that a lot from these kind of events where people sort of turn up and then they're like, okay, I feel like I know what God wants me to do?
Yeah, definitely. So much clarity has dropped, and we have so many amazing testimonies that have rolled in from previous gatherings, and youth starting Jesus groups on their high school, and it's not an adult telling them to do it. It's youth initiated, and youth pastors are helping cover it, and like buy the pizza or whatever. But it's the students that are running it, or even one church I was talking to have started a university outreach with 9 young adults from their church that are keen to reach the university. So we are seeing a lot of people maybe want to do something, and then just some reason in these gatherings, God just kind of gives them that like light bulb moment.
Yeah.
And it's not like God's going to show them the next 50 years of their life, but at least the next step. So,
yeah. Well, God definitely shows up when people intentionally come together in His name to seek Him on a large scale. I always find, you put aside time, you put aside your schedule and everything else, and you seek Him, and you're willing to listen and open your hearts and your minds, and He tends to turn up. Okay, there's a weird question. On your website and part of the promo video, There's a lot of people holding their own shoes in their hands with their hand. They look like they're worshipping, but at the same time, they're holding up their shoes. I've never done that before in a church. Any explanation as to what might have been happening there? Or?
Yeah, there's lots of question marks about the shoes.
You'll just have to show up? Or?
Yeah, but that's the thing in New Zealand is half of our country doesn't wear shoes, so we're not quite sure what to do. I was thinking we should have done jandals.
Oh,
or,
right, yeah.
I don't know.
Take off your shoes. And
Yeah,
I don't
have
any.
any.
Oh, okay.
No, but so the shoes is very much symbolic around, we will go.
Yeah.
And we'll go for the gospel and, go and make disciples, go into all the world, preach the gospel. So it's very much a sign of we're gonna take action, and that'll happen at the send. We'll have a shoe moment, and we've done a few shoe moments across the nation, and people are always shocked, but when it lands, and people love it. Young people love it.
That's
I get
awesome.
to wave my shoes in the air. How good in church.
What would you say to somebody listening right now who's kind of umming and ahhing about whether they want to come or not?
Yeah, well, that's a really good question. I would say, why not? Just come. And I think it's, there might be a little bit of hesitation, or I'm not too sure what the send is, or still don't get what this gathering is. But what if you came and God did something really significant? And I just think that, we're already seeing God transform believers' lives unto transforming the harvest. And I just think it's so worth coming and gathering nationwide around Jesus and the Great Commission, and just believing that Jesus can turn our nation back to him. So,
well, if you feel yourself nodding your head whilst you're listening, that means you are going. 23rd of November, it's at Mystery Creek in Hamilton, so the venue's great. Head along. There's going to be thousands of other people who are going to be worshipping together, all in God's name, and hopefully a bit of impact happening in your own life, and who knows what will come out of it. So if you want to get details, find out more, book your tickets, all that stuff, go to thesend.org.nz. You can get it all there. And if people come in a big group, there's a bit of a discount or something if they're heading along as a...
Yeah, we love our discounts. So if you book a group of 10 or more, you get 20% off. So
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You and your friends, your family, and your home group
That's it.
Nice.
all head along
Your
together.
cat,
And
your
it's-
dog, I don't know.
Yeah,
Just whatever.
It's only $30 to go anyway. So if you want to just head along as you're lonesome, then
already
get
pretty
there.
good.
It's going to be huge. We're very excited. We're going to keep putting this in front of you as well, leading up to the event, so you get heaps of notice and time to get yourself sorted and get there. But Ben, thanks so much for coming in, and God bless with everything that happens with the Send.
Awesome.